down from 10 to 7.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to Dirty Rotten Radio, powered by the UrbanAdvocate.com via 4Block TV under the umbrella that is RockuNation.com. And we are back with another list as we do each and every week here on Dirty Rotten Radio. Proof that the internet is for more than just porn. 9 p.m.-ish Central Standard Time every Thursday on RockuNation.com via at 4Block TV. Follow on Facebook. Yeah, follow on Twitter, like on Facebook, and, you know, all that good stuff. So, my co-defendant, my co-conspirator, my comrade, theurbanadvocate.com, Ramon of theurbanadvocate.com, has a list, and we're going to go through that list now. Sir, if you would, please introduce this list to the people so they can be fully familiar with the concept which we will be discussing this evening.
All right, basically, this list is a few of the things that men find unattractive.
This is pretty potent stuff, considering we're coming off the Valentine's Day holiday, where there's a lot of things that, quite frankly, men allow women to get away with because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's just be perfectly honest about it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and guys, when they see that light, they let a lot of stuff pass by the wayside. Some of that stuff just shouldn't be done.
And you might even see a couple of the behavior on this list. A few of the things on this list. All right, so basically we're gonna run through. I've narrowed it down. This originally was a top 10 list, but I've narrowed it down to 7.
So the top 7 things that you ladies really should, you know, try to cut back on, because it's not as sexy as you might think it is.
And ladies, this is in no particular order, so
no order of importance. Just they're all important.
Yeah, just they're all as equally as important. Just stop doing them all. All right, first thing on the list, we're gonna go with 7. Number 7.
Number 7 on the top 7 things that you should really cut back on, because it ain't for you.
Being thirsty, being desperate, or over, what you call that?
Overzealous, overly aggressive,
overzealous, and over.
There's such a thing as being assertive.
Yeah.
You know, making the first move, being assertive, being
nothing wrong.
What's the other word I'm looking for? Assertive, being in pursuit. Like, there are things like that you know work. Being thirsty, being a thirst lemming, or just being overbearing is not a good look.
Ever.
It's not a good look on a man, let alone a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm saying you know, no man, like, we always say over here in Rockwood Nation, like, men are naturally the type of people, you know what I'm saying, creatures who are predators. You
right.
Know what I'm saying? We like to hunt. You know what I'm saying? So no man wants to be, you know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Nah, cause
I ain't gonna say that.
I mean, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's fun when she knows how to hunt.
Yeah.
Cause some women, like, they'll make their first move and it doesn't work the way they think so. So either they give up or they get frantic, and then they just start grasping at straws.
Yeah, cause I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't have to approach women they normally approach me.
Okay, ladies, look at me in my face. Look at me when I'm talking to you. One of the sexiest things you can learn how to do is learn how to mac. Not run game, not any. Learn how to mac. If you learn how to mac and you successfully mac your man, he'll never leave. You mac, you execute the mac, and then you preserve the mac. I mean, it's real. Like, the same. Okay. It's time out for women, especially our women, feeling as though men, and all of us specifically, are primitive. And all we need is a full stomach and an empty sack, and everything else is okay. Like, no. everything you're looking for.
It's a good starting place, but
it's a good starting point. Like those are all. That's more like, okay, you need to breathe.
Right.
I need to eat. You need to, you need to talk. I need to release. You need to sleep. I need to watch TV. These are basic human needs that all of us have. These are common needs. These aren't just like male and woman specific.
Right.
These are common needs. So from now on, do everyone a favor. Whatever it is you need from your mate, give them.
Yeah. Don't
just assume because he's a man he doesn't need that, or he doesn't want that, or whatever. First of all, ask him.
Communication. I don't know how many times I can.
We say this all the time. Just communicate.
You know what I'm saying?
Communicate.
Like, you make sure, you know what I'm saying, like your wants, needs, and desires are expressed to your partner
and adhered to.
And you know what I'm saying, you listen when that person is expressing their wants, needs, and desires to you.
And you work those out. And whatever you don't know how to do, ask. And what you do know how to do that even they may not know that they want, you go the extra mile because you would want that person to go the extra mile for you.
Right.
Stop assuming that all men you deal with are primitive. This is not a game to be won. And like that whole I'm going to do the least to get the most, that's not a relationship. Exactly. That's not how relationships work.
Exactly.
If you are doing that, you are on a fast track to failure. Man, woman, are undecided.
See, that's what you get for listening to Steve Harvey.
And I plan not to read that book, and I still ain't cursed on air. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good, son. Next, number 6.
All right. This one, I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
Switch it up.
All right. Women who don't take care of their personal hygiene.
This is key.
I can't tell you how many times I've been around beautiful women with bad breath. Beautiful women who have a little must issue going on.
You can't party so hard that women will carry everything in a purse.
Yeah.
Everything, like spare keys to old apartments they don't stay in no more. I mean,
you can't keep some degree in there.
You know what I'm saying? Like a little travel size deodorant. Yeah,
it ain't got to be big. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't got to be huge because you have the luxury of carrying a purse.
Exactly.
Men are not supposed to carry purses, and they shouldn't. We don't. But I got a backpack and I got an overnight bag in case I have to be somewhere for work or whatever else.
And I've been known to carry, you know what I'm saying, deodorant, cologne, lotion.
All of the important things. Hand sanitizer.
All in the car with
toothbrush, toothpaste. I mean, everything just in case.
Because you never
breath mints, all of that. A change of clothes.
Exactly. I keep a change of clothes in the car sometimes because sometimes I be out all day.
I keep enough clothes on deck. Now, I had slipped off because the weather changed. Right. But I was keeping enough clothes on deck with me that I could survive a weekend. Because you don't know what...
You don't know
especially with how we live and everything we do, you don't know when something going to pop up.
Exactly.
You just don't know.
Because I done had, in one day, had 3 different types of places that I had to go.
Right.
And I couldn't, you know what I'm saying, wear the exact same thing to every one.
And it's not time efficient or cost effective to navigate from that place back home, change, go back out, then come back home from another place, change again. It doesn't make sense. So you just stay prepared. Ladies, your hygiene
Take care of your personal hygiene, please.
And here's another... You can't keep assuming that men are so primitive that they don't notice these things. It's just a lot of men, and the type of men that you really don't want to deal with will let you function in that frame, in that state of being. They'll let you do that because it's like they don't care because they see a means to an end. It's like, if I tell her she don't smell right, she gonna get offended. If she get offended, she not gonna give me no play.
Right.
Like, that ain't the type of dudes you want to deal with anyway, because he gonna let you be out here looking any kind of way.
Nope.
He gonna let you look, smell, dress, act, talk any kind of way. And is that what you really want from the person that you trying to be with and build a foundation with? You want somebody that's gonna try to keep you in pocket. Not check you, keep you in pocket. Big difference. More men than you think are taste, smell, sight sensitive. Smell sensitive, incredibly smell sensitive.
Like I said,
Incredibly sight sensitive about certain things.
Put a pin in it.
Head. Put a pin in it. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, pin in it. Number 5.
All right. Here's a huge one. This is why I say they're in no particular order, because if this was my list that I made up, it'd have been like number 2 or number 1 on the list. All you angry for absolutely no reason women.
Ladies.
Constantly got an attitude problem for no apparent reason.
And I'm not gonna be so subjective to just say ladies. I'm gonna say ladies and fellas. Y'all gotta be real with each other.
Yeah.
You can't be bitter about the person that came before the new guy or the new girl.
Right.
Because if you're doing the proper communication and both of you knew what you wanted out of that relationship, and there came a time either where they didn't meet your requirements or you didn't meet theirs, and you didn't see fit to reconcile,
right,
it's okay that you two aren't together. If you chose not to reconcile, both of you chose to walk away, you don't have to carry that bitterness, because you as an adult handled your business. And when you handle your business, not all business works out.
Right.
And if it doesn't work out, of course there's some initial hurt, and then there's ego bruising and this, that, and the other. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, you did what you were supposed to do until you couldn't do it anymore.
And see, that's why, a few weeks ago on Raku Radio, I discussed it. We actually discussed it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hop out of a relationship, especially when it was a long-term relationship, you know what I mean? You need to take some time to yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Allow yourself to heal, to allow yourself to get back on point, allow yourself to take a step back and examine this situation.
Analyze those situations as to what didn't happen, what you could have done, what the other person could have done. Because what happens a lot of times, you'll rush into another situation.
Exactly.
But then the whole time you'll be processing what happened in the last situation.
Right.
And before too long, you figure out, well, I could have made the last situation work.
Trying to pick up where you left off in the last situation, but where you left off was in a bad spot.
And then come to find out the other person's been doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden you both feel like, hey, we can come back and talk about this like adults and probably figure this out.
Right.
But now you got another person.
Exactly.
You got another person involved.
Exactly. And that's another thing. Like, you never know when you break up with somebody. You never know. Y'all might end up getting back together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you give yourself that grace period to be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just in case y'all end up coming back together. Y'all might end up coming back together in the next couple of months after y'all break up. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself that time just to, you know what I'm saying, before you start moving on and hopping into the next relationship.
Now that doesn't mean isolate yourself and sit in a room in a rocking chair eating ice cream, listening to Sade. What it means is that you get around your support system. You find activities to do.
Yeah.
Now, you don't just throw yourself into the social scene because you don't want to be alone with yourself, because that's a bigger problem.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's cool to be by yourself and with your own thoughts, because sometimes you need to think.
Self-examination happens in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start getting to know yourself in those times.
And that's something that's incredibly important. And the more you're able to do that, the better person you can be for either that person that you lost that ends up coming back, or the next person that you meet along the way. At least then you know you.
Exactly, because if you don't know what you want, you don't know what you need, you don't know, you know what I'm saying, what you require from a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard for you to be satisfied in a relationship.
How do you tell somebody else what you want when you don't know what you want?
Exactly.
And what number we on? 4?
Yeah.
Number 4 on the top 7 things you should probably ease up on, because it's not getting you anywhere in the long run.
All right. I told you to put a pin in that.
Right.
Okay, here it is, and I'm switching this up again because I had to narrow like 3 of them down to 1. Not taking care of your appearance, not taking pride in your appearance.
Yeah, that kind of goes with hygiene, but yeah.
It's kind of separate because hygiene is basically taking care of, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, your breath, you know what I'm saying,
hit
your
the hot
odor
spots.
and all. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying, like taking pride in your appearance is how you look. You know what I'm saying. That means not taking care of your hair, not caring about how you dress. You know what I'm saying, not taking care. You know what I'm saying, like females like to wear, you know, open toe shoes and things like that, or you know what I'm saying, just shoes that show their feet and they not taking care of their feet.
I lump all that in with hygiene. I mean, I know it's separate,
yeah,
but I do lump all that in with hygiene because it's like if you're not taking care of your hair, chances are you're not washing it. So if you're not washing it, I mean, what else are you not washing? Same thing with your feet.
Yeah,
it's like your feet first thing to hit the water. So it's one of those things where it's like I include all of it. And when we say appearance, it doesn't mean that you have to be a fashion designer walking billboard.
Nope.
What it means is whatever outfit you put together for the day is a quality representation of how you want to be represented when you out in public. That means not wearing something that's too short if you don't want to be seen in that light.
Right.
Not wearing something that's too revealing if you don't want to be seen in that light. You know, just dress for success. Dress for the type of attention you want.
Exactly.
Now, if you want a bunch of eyes looking at you and people potentially grabbing at you, which is not ever okay, or you know, approaching you in a certain manner, then okay, dress like that. Now, I've been cleared to use one word, and I will use it only because I'm gonna quote Dave Chappelle. He did a stand up, and he was like, he dressed up as a police officer, and he was like, people come up and ask him, you know, officer, such and such, help us. Oh, you think just because I'm dressed like a police officer, that means I am a police officer? And he took that to mean, well, excuse me, ma'am, just because you dress that way, no, it doesn't make you a whore. That's not true. It doesn't make you a whore. But you are wearing a whore's uniform.
Real talk. And I mean, I know, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if I've said this on air or not, but I know we was talking about it with Rocco and Latina.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And all you ladies out there, all the beautiful ladies out there, all the beautiful black women, what up? You know what I'm saying? Who are rocking the natural look. You know what I'm saying? You're going back to the natural hair. You know what I'm saying? No chemicals. Stop putting all them chemicals and all that stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. I love it. But at the same time, rocking the natural is absolutely no excuse for not taking care of your hair. It's absolutely no excuse for not combing it.
In most cases, it's actually harder to keep hair natural than it is to keep it processed.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the global phenomenon known the world over and in some parts of outer space. That seems to happen to us quite a bit. I don't know how we just hit the limit on that thing. Go ahead though.
But you know, it's like there are things that you need to do as a woman who, you know what I'm saying, you're rocking the natural. There are certain things that you need to do to keep your hair looking presentable. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like rocking the natural. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women use that as an excuse not to comb their hair, not to brush it, and not to make it look presentable. And it's just say, oh, I'm rocking it natural. Like, come on, like, you have to take care of your hair, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to keep it looking nice.
I mean, that would be a pretty good idea.
I mean, it would be, but you would be surprised how many women just come out the house with their hair looking any kind of way.
I mean, and those are the sorts of individuals that end up with problems because it's
exactly.
Like you feel as though you're entitled to something. Like, look.
Nice segue, sir.
The type of individual that you present yourself to be is the type of individual you're going to attract. 9 times out of 10. You're not going to see an upstanding individual go slumming. Because if he does, there's a specific reason for it. And the same way you're not going to see a woman who is of a certain upstanding stature go trolling for a less than suitable mate unless there's an ulterior motive. A lot of times those don't really pan out like you think they are, and on top of that, there are some prerequisites for those type of relationships.
Yep.
What number we on? Number three. Tres.
All these females with a sense of entitlement.
Pet peeve.
They feel like they're entitled to something.
You have not been hurt any more than the next person. I know that sounds insensitive. Sounds really insensitive. You have not been hurt any more than the next person. And the only reason I can say that is not because you may have gone through something totally traumatic and you deserve to have a certain sense of guardedness, but because every person is different, every person's set of emotions is different, and how people deal with traumatic events are different, which means you, by law, cannot be more hurt than anyone else because you don't know how their traumatic event affected them. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, self-entitlement. There's self-entitlement when you have a resume. Like, you have a resume that dictates that you make a certain amount on a job. Same, no different than a relationship. You have a resume of things that you can, will, have, and will continue to do that dictate a certain level of mate. Someone has to be able to match you because you're going to do this, and this. You'll have your list of like, hey, I bring this to the table, so I need this. I bring this, so I need this. I bring this, I need this. And y'all match, and that's how you do that. But you have to have that criteria to make demands.
Yeah.
It's not a hostage negotiation.
It's like, you know, a lot of females, they make the mistake of coming into a situation feeling like they owed something. You know what I'm saying? It's like the guy owed, like, I owe you when I just met you. Like,
no,
I don't. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can't collect any debts from me for what the last dude owe you.
And it's like, it's something, it could be something as simple as, you know, females, because, you know, a lot of females, they complain about this, like dudes, you know what I'm saying, like taking them to places like McDonald's on the first date. And it's like, look, you have to work your way up. Like, I just met you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is our first date. I'm not going to be going out spending no couple of $100 on no one meal when I just met you. Like, this is our first date.
I mean, we can middle of the road. We go to Cheddar's.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out to Cheddar's. They have wonderful food at affordable prices. Cut us the check.
Or Chili's.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can 2 for $20.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but some females, they had this sense, like the sense of entitlement to where they feel like, you know what I'm saying, like a guy should wine and dine them on the first date.
Are you eating minus what it would cost you? It's like you're not paying for this.
It ain't like you paying for it.
And if you want to go half, I mean, if you want to go Dutch, now some guys will be like, you know, you don't never take a woman out and make her go Dutch. All right, cool.
If that works for you,
I mean, to each his own.
To each his own. But I mean,
however, I feel more comfortable with a woman who knows I want to be treated the same way she want to be treated. She want to be wooed and macked and dined and wined. I mean, hey, I'm prime real estate.
Hey, and you know what I'm saying, like. You know how we always.
What you want me to say?
You know how we always talk about. You know what I'm saying. It ain't, you know, like dudes will be talking about it ain't tricking if you got it. We say it's tricking no matter what.
Right.
You know what I'm saying. Like, I've had dudes sit there and argue me down about, you know, you gonna pay for it regardless. You know what I'm saying. You gonna pay for it anyway. You gonna have to take the girl out to eat.
Then you need a prostitute.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've got chicks taking me out to eat.
It's a wonderful thing when it happens.
Paying for my meals.
It's a wonderful thing when it happens, and by no stretch of the imagination am I a gigolo. But it's it's nice.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And sometimes, in rare circumstances, do it first. You want a friend, show yourself to be friendly.
And give them a reason to do it back.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to give to get.
These are all real life concerns, and
you know what I'm saying. So
this is all real.
All that sense of entitlement, man. Like you
gotta lose it, and fellas, you gotta lose it too. You gotta lose it. You cannot go into a situation expecting. See, okay, we'd have to ask a female about what these new types are expecting. I don't go into a situation expecting anything. Like, that's why we have communication. I'm gonna talk to you and find out what you're doing.
I'm gonna find out what you about.
We gonna have this conversation before we go anywhere in public. Cause you're not gonna embarrass me in public.
Exactly.
Cause I will cause a scene of all scenes.
You're not gonna. I'm going as far as to say I'm not gonna let you waste my time.
You're not gonna waste my time. That's what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna waste my time, and you're not gonna embarrass me.
So before I invest any time into you, I'm gonna find out what you about.
And that's why we communicate. You're not gonna have me out here hung out to dry though. That's what's not gonna happen. That's what's not gonna happen.
I'm not a fan of wasting my time or my money
at all, because I can do a whole lot with either one.
Yep.
Next, what number we on? 2?
Yes, sir.
Number 2 on the top 7 things, ladies, and basically fellas too. Y'all gotta chill out on, because you're making yourself look real shabby.
All right, now this one I'm gonna tailor it up a little bit.
Tweak it.
This one says cursing like a sailor, but I'm gonna switch that one up.
Okay.
To not having any manners.
That's better, because if I'm watching a football game with my old lady,
right,
and either we rooting for the same team or 2 different teams, if she got a different team than me, whatever the case is,
right,
and she let a couple of obscenities fly at the TV, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm gonna admire that a little bit.
Like, that's my chick.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, she got that work though. For real, mama. I mean, hey, I zoned out for a minute. But,
real talk.
I mean, but like, if you're excited about certain stuff, then cool. But don't.
But I mean, it's a time and a place for everything.
Exactly.
It's a time
and a place for everything.
Like when we walking through Walmart and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need you
unprovoked. Yeah, unprovoked showing out. Because people can push your buttons in public, and you react to it, and you control. If you let other people control your reactions, then they control you.
Yeah.
However, I mean, sometimes people need to be put in their place. I understand that as well.
But even in that case where you have to put somebody in place,
don't overdo it.
Don't overdo it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't holler and just cursing somebody at. You know what I'm saying? Just because they ain't double bag your juice.
When you see two fools argue from a distance, you don't know who's who.
Exactly.
Or a fool and the same person. You see two people argue from a distance, you don't know who the fool is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, give it the proper reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like,
to be perfectly honest,
make sure you put everything in perspective before you.
Like we talked about on Raku Radio.
Yeah.
I mean, when Phil was talking about the situation with the dude, and then Ra was like, he was gonna have his personal reaction. Now you got to go back and watch the show to see what he said. It was like, to be perfectly honest with you, the more calm and contrite you are with people, they don't have any room to get belligerent with you.
Exactly.
Like, just keep it real short, sweet, and to the point. Air your exact grievance.
Get straight to the point.
Ma'am, sir, stepped on my foot. I have really expensive tennis shoes on. I would appreciate it if you would watch your step. Now, it sounds very smug, and there is an air of arrogance to it, but I didn't disrespect anyone. I didn't even raise my voice. I spoke my concern, and I asked for a resolution. Now, if they take it a step further, then you got to find out who you're dealing with. But you handled the situation correctly in the beginning, and a lot of times people are so got off with when you handle them like that. They don't have a comeback for that. Everybody has a comeback for getting cussed at. Do the exact same thing. People don't have a comeback for politeness. Where we at?
We're at number one.
Number one.
Now, again, I'm going to have to tailor this up.
Fix it.
Okay, because initially it was women who sleeping around.
Huh?
Like promiscuity.
Oh.
Women being promiscuous.
Well, that can become a bit of an issue, but
I'm going to tailor it up to, you know what I'm saying, just because in this day and age, let's be real. Good luck finding a woman who ain't.
Yeah, who ain't. Yeah, if you find one who ain't been ran through, you better hold on to it.
You know what I'm saying? So we gonna tailor it up to just females who have absolutely no
discretion
about it.
Right, because I mean, here's one of those things. Like, I know guys have this issue, or some guys had this issue. Like, look, you need to realize she had sex before she met you.
Yes. I always tell people, if she's doing it with you, she's done it before.
You can't take home and wife a woman with a porn star mentality who ain't shot a couple of scenes before. Now, if you are mature mentally enough to handle that, then cool. Now, there are rare cases where you happen to be the one to influence the other person with that particular behavior.
That's rare.
But it's rare. It's rare. And it's really rare because that is learned behavior on a lot of levels. Now, she may go there for you because she feels that way about you.
Right.
But you're going to be able to tell that she hasn't done it. She's not used to it. So you got to deal with the growing pains and the practice makes perfect and all those different things.
Yep.
And when you get one of those situations, hey, like I said, you find one who ain't been ran through, hold on to her.
Exactly.
But
and then at that point, you know what I'm saying, like if you like some extra stuff, you know what I'm saying, like you're gonna have to communicate that to her, you know what I'm saying,
and
let
you
her
sit
know.
down and work that out as a team.
Exactly.
But if you got if you drafted an all-star, you got an all-star in the draft.
Yeah.
Then you know what it was, and you can't be all that upset about it. She chose to be with you.
Exactly.
She's with you now. Reap the benefits.
And you know, like I remember it's been a lot of people. But I remember one specific case. One case comes to mind where there was this chick. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why, but she told me like almost her whole life story, like our first conversation. And she needed an outlet, dude. Yeah, she needed somebody to talk to.
That's why all it is. That's how you gotta. That's what you gotta chalk it up to. She needed an outlet.
And you know what I'm saying? Like she told me like all of the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that she had been through, all the stuff that she had done.
Right.
And it wasn't in a sense to where she was bragging about it. You know what I'm saying? Like she just been through a lot in her life.
Yeah, she just needed somebody to say it to.
And you know what I'm saying? Like other females will see me talking to her, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out like why, you know what I'm saying, like oh, she a hoe, she this and she that. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to figure out why I'm being so nice to her. He probably doing something with her too. And I'm like, nah, it ain't nothing like that. It's just like even if I did get with that girl, at least I know up front what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel a lot more comfortable knowing going into a situation what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? Like what she done been through, what she done been doing. I feel a lot more comfortable knowing that kind of stuff.
She ain't done nothing that you ain't done. It's just she might have done it more frequently. and with a little less discretion. And sometimes people learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, if you like female judging and then other female who is in question, you guys sit down and list everything that you've done. I guarantee your lists won't be that much different in terms of what you've done. The only difference will be volume. Volume is a correctable. It's correctable.
Yeah.
It just depends. Somebody got to be mentally, enough in pocket to deal with that.
Exactly. And some people, in some situations, it's just like some deep-rooted issues.
Exactly. Like something traumatic happened.
Yeah, like in her situation, she had been raped before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it in some situations it's just a traumatic situation that kind of makes these, females go out there.
Yeah, you don't know what started that particular issue.
So you just sitting here calling her a hoe just because she do this, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not taking time to put it in perspective.
And that's mainly because ain't nobody told you had the good fortune for nobody to tell what you up to.
Exactly.
Because
I knew some of the shit that was talking about her, and I knew what they was doing.
Yeah, it's like,
so it's like, look, you have no room to
there are only a handful of things that she probably could have done that they hadn't done or weren't currently doing. It's a question of volume and discretion. If she's being indiscriminate about who she's doing it to, and then doing it in a volume that supersedes what they're doing, then all of a sudden there are labels being thrown. Because if she got one boyfriend and just going really hard in the paint, she'd have been their mentor. It's perception. It's all perception. All perception.
And that, like, ultimately, like that was the biggest thing with me, with her, is the fact that she was dating one of my partners from, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. So I was like, I'm not even thinking about that girl like that.
But you know,
but it had absolutely
people
nothing
rush to judgment.
Yeah, it had absolutely nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, her past. It just, again, if I know these things up front, and this is why I stress communication. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do that.
Getting to know the people that you're dealing with, so you know exactly what you. And one thing that I always tell people is, like, don't take away this person's opportunity to make a choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you putting up this front about who you are. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you're not that person, and then come to find out down the line, you not the person that you know what I'm saying, presented yourself to be. And it's like you took away that person's initial you know what I'm saying, opportunity to make a choice on whether or not they wanted to continue on with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you have to allow people to make adult decisions.
You know what I'm saying? Because you never know if you being honest and you being upfront about, you know what I'm saying, what you do and your history, you know what I'm saying? It's like you never know exactly how they might take that. You know what I'm saying?
If you dealing with somebody with a heightened mind state, I mean, they may be like, hey, well, it's a new day.
Because that's just like even in like a situation where like you might be dealing with more than one person at the same time, which I have, but I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, hey, you know it happens to the best of them.
I'm single. I can do what I want. Really? I mean, but the thing is that every one of them females knew about it. They knew they wasn't the only girl that I was dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was honest and I was upfront, and I could deal with a female who, you know what I'm saying, lets me know that at that time I'm not the only person that they dealing with at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As long as they being honest about it. Now, if they trying to make it seem like I'm the only one, and then I find out later that I wasn't,
that's irritating.
To me, that's a flaw in character.
That means you wasted my time, because at that point I'm viewing you one way, and I'm sizing everything up from this viewpoint,
from this perspective,
when I should be looking from a completely different viewpoint, which means you've wasted my time and my thought process, my thought power. I don't like that. So just put it all on the table and let me make an informed adult decision, and hope that I am, mature enough to just weed through it all and make a decision. I make an adult informed decision.
Exactly, man. I mean, and again, it's just being honest with yourself. First of all, I encourage all of you ladies out there, you guys out there, to practice self-respect. You know what I'm saying? Have respect for yourself. And if you have respect for yourself, certain things will be off limits to you. You know what I'm saying? Like sleeping around with a whole bunch of people with, you know what I'm saying, absolutely no discretion about it, it kind of be off limits to you.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying? Because you have too much respect for yourself.
You know cause and effect.
Exactly. So I
mean, let alone the personal slander that you could go through. I mean, that's a health risk. Mm-hmm. You playing Russian roulette with your life.
With your life.
Just do better.
So first, that's the first thing. Practice self-respect. And then from that point on, man, it's just about being honest with yourself and being honest with the people that you deal with,
man. I'm trying to help people get right this year.
Trying.
You know
what I'm saying? Don't be ratchet your whole life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, like, you've had an opportunity to frolic and socialize in these different things. Now we trying to get you to another plateau. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to raise you up a little bit high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're trying to help you man and woman up.
Man and woman up. The job of Dirty Riding Radio, powered by the UrbanAdvocate.com, via 4 Block TV, under the umbrella that is RockuNation.com, each and every Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We appreciate you for joining us yet again.